So, Wuthering Waves just came out. I've tried it and I want to talk about it, about my early impressions of the game, how I feel about it, things I don't like, things I do like, and, just get my early thoughts out there. So maybe later I can come back, check this video out, see if anything I've said changed, see if anything I said, improved, or if, things I said became worse. To start off with the pros, and this one goes without saying, the combat in this game is pretty amazing. The characters I've used so far feel good to fight with, the attacks feel very impactful, and it really does, you do feel like a badass whenever you're playing it. When you do feel like you have those replay moments. For example, whenever you perfect dodge and time slows down, really it's like pretty cinematic in it, and it gets you like going in the game, it gets you hyped up for the game. And like parrying feels pretty good to do, and I feel like it's kind of fair. Some characters are more forgiving because their attacks share, but all in all, I think parrying feels pretty fair to me. With the windows and whatnot. The biggest thing for me personally, though, the intro and outro skills make it feel like I'm jumping people in this game. Like to compare it with to compare the game to its only competition, Genshin Impact. In Genshin Impact, the team play or the team comps, they come mainly from playing the right characters at the right times. So for Hyper Bloom teams, for example, you want to make sure you get your rotation down so that each rotation you go through, you get the maximum number of Hyper Blooms going. Or for that, if you have a hyper carry, you want to make sure you stack the buffs so you get the perfect uptime, you get the maximum uptime so you can easily, clear Spiral Abyss. They changed that here by making the team play, or at least in the beginning, about switching out at the right time to both dodge and deal damage. And if when you're just going through characters, you're dodging with one character, you're attacking with another, it does feel like you're like jumping somebody, and that's what I'm looking for in games. I want to jump nation only. Echoes are a really interesting concept in this game, and like I like what they've done with like the diversifying like the game formula, because they provide a lot of motivation to explore. I feel a lot more inclined to walk into a cave to see if I can get a Rollstone Echo, or to kill the big spider boss so I can use the spider myself. Like, this is just a me thing, but I'm really not one for theatrics. If I don't need to do something, I will enjoy the time I gain from not doing it. Like in Genshin, I've still not killed those Rift Hounds because no character of mine has forced me to put up with them. But with Echoes, I see a new mob I've not fought yet and I actively go out of my way to kill them to see, what kind of move I could get out of them. Another pro, the character design is done really well in my personal opinion. I feel like I can tell everything about a character just from the way they look and their body language. Baiji, she looks really regal, she looks really intelligent. Mortefi looks like a dickhead scientist, as he is. Chisha is very obviously a very upbeat character, very outgoing character. And Alto is a really self-confident fuckboy. You can tell everything about a character just from like the way that their hair is, their face, their pose, because pose is a big part of character design. They really succeeded at displaying characters' personalities through their character design. To get to the cons though, first and foremost, the story is so difficult to pay attention to because they just throw random words at you, random terminology. Like what I heard when I was first playing was, oh no, the Wishwash Scabber is opening up in the planes of the Adobe After Effects, and as of right now, we don't have the Skelefeli Rizmataz to acutely detain the infighting asparagus without causing a Sainsbury's mega sale. like I can understand a tiny bit of what's going on from like context clues, but with all this jargon you're throwing at me, I understand nothing. Like I understand a good story will have you asking questions, but when I'm playing, I feel like a journalist. I have all of the questions and none of the answers. Also, up until the point where Scar comes in, I felt nothing to any of the characters, except for Sanhua. Sanhua was a better than the rest because her eye was kind of cool, and like when she was spying on us, for example, and she has like, and also the fact she's the magistrate's personal bodyguard, but she's not with the body she's supposed to be guarding. That's, making you ask like interesting questions as opposed to what's all these random words they're thrown at you. But other than her, the rest of the characters are largely boring. Like I either feel slight disdain towards them, like Mortefi's condescending ass, or I feel nothing towards them, like Yang Yang, who's the most vanilla character ever. Anywho, the second con I've got with this game, the voice direction is really weird. Like Yang Yang, for example, the beginning she was like, the sentinel of our city is in the form of a lung. Other sentinels also tend to be lungs. It's like it feels like they cut in a different a different recording. Like you wake up and she's like, "Oh, we're in the point." You wake up and she says to you, "Oh, we're in the plains of Huanglong." You just woke up. It's like it feels it's really immersion breaking. And then Also, with Jang Jin, I feel like they really messed up her voice acting, like her voice direction, because I'm assuming she's supposed to come off as the really sweet, calm monk who's like, really found her zen. But when I was playing her, when I met her first in the story, I was she so serial killer vibes. She says, I meet her. She's going talking to the soldiers. She's like, "Please let me follow you. You know what? I'll stay back 5 miles. No, 100 miles. No, 1,000 miles. Well, maybe not 1,000 miles. Then I wouldn't be able to see you as clearly. 100 it is. That nigga is terrifying. Like, that motherfucker is worrying, man. Because that was a threat, and you can't tell me otherwise. She said to them, man, you can leave, you can go as far away as you can. I can still see you. Like I said, she's supposed to be super sweet. You're supposed to see her and be like, look at this little cinnamon bun. Especially that's why I think she's supposed to be, at least with like her actions towards the homeless people, where she was like giving them food, her food and money. But like no, she just comes off with a ticking time bomb. She is worrying. But all in all, though, I've really enjoyed the game so far, and it's been great to get into. I recommend it heavily to all of you. My only gripes with the game are the story and the voice acting. But for how I saw it advertised, like, and the way the game was advertised, at least through content creators, was it's all about the combat and the end game, and the combat so far has not disappointed. Anyways, thanks for watching to the end. My goat for real. Like, comment, subscribe, and the whole shebang. And let me know how you feel about the game too. If you think I'm tripping or I'm tweaking about the story or the voice acting or anything like that, you do let me know. Because maybe I'm just not paying enough attention. Like the words I've been explaining, I just didn't know. Anywho, I'll see you later. Bye bye.